Peace and love, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Fatima, Pillow Talk with the Aisha Sisters, Season 3, the finale, Episode 12. My name is Fatima. I must say, I'm very excited to get to this point and that we are in the last Pillow Talk of 2025. This has been a very, very good year. And I've liked, well, I'm probably getting a little too happy, but at the end of the day, this is the finale. So I get to talk how I want to tonight. Yes, because this is how we are going out. We are going out with a bang when it comes to the fact of 2026 is all about our affirmations that we spoke on, all the things that we wanted, everything that we done spoke on here on Pillow Talk and at home in our own time is manifesting. And I'm expecting everything that we do here and off the camera to make its benefit this next year. So I'm excited about this being the end of this season of Pillow Talk, and that we actually even completed a third season of it. And I'm looking forward to the season 4 and all other podcasts that I have coming. I'm excited and ready for this, but I have to do it right and make sure that we get to see each other one more time before this year ends to put season 3 at its closing, so that way we can get ready for season 4 next year. Okay. First and foremost, I want to make sure that I bring God in the midst. All praises due to Allah. Alhamdulillah. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, praise be to Allah, the cherisher, sustainer of the world, most gracious, most merciful, master of the day of judgment. Thee do we worship, thine aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those who bestowed your grace, the way of those whose portion is not wrath, and those who go not astray. I mean, all right. So now that we have made sure that the author of all things possible has been ushered in, I want to talk about the purpose of Pillow Talk, and why we do this. Our purpose of this podcast is to get people to affirm their life and their lifestyle. We're human. We all make mistakes. The next steps is the best steps. If you fall, you get back up. You speak life into yourself, positive thinking with positive minds. Manifesting and affirming are real. Affirming and understand what you position for yourself, and knowing we in the Aisha Sisterhood are here for support. Okay. Now we're going to jump right into it. And again, this is going to be more of a flash show because, of course, I do have ones here. But again, I just wanted to make sure that I show my face on this podcast ending in 2025, seeing the fact of all the tests and trials that we have been through, even with just this podcast over this year, and with stepping into a new calendar year. You know what I mean? How important it is for us to always make sure we're doing this, and that I'll be able to do this right before, you know what I mean, we get into 2026. I'm going to continue to be affirming. So this is my way of doing that and setting this path for it can get started tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? So how am I feeling? Mentally, I took some time off and I'm in a great space so far, but it's always an up and down thing. I understand process. But most importantly, mentally, I'm establishing new heights. So I feel like that I'm in a good space on how I'm feeling. Is accepting the processes and the changes that are expected. You know what I mean? Physically, I've been feeling well, and I update on that, y'all. I have finally signed up. I am in the gym. I am working on what I need to work on. I know I set that as a personal goal a few Pillow Talks back, but we're here now and I did it. So I'm looking forward to the results that can come from that. So yes, physically, I'm getting it in where I fit in for sure. And it's gonna start with me first and foremost going to that gym. I'm gonna stick right now with doing my treadmill, getting my walking back up, And then I'm going to start with my inclines, you know what I mean, to strengthen the muscles that I do have, because I'm pretty stout anyway, you know what I mean. But if I could tone, oh my goodness, I'll be just fine with that. That's what I'm on. Spiritually, I have definitely been praying more, trying to get better in tune on my prayer times. That's something that I still have some work on, because a lot of times that we're kind of busy and things like that, or we say we're busy or whatever. But it's very important to make these times, because if you do that, a lot more things that's coming at you or that'll come into your circumference tends to seize or have a better outcome when you make sure that you take that time out to reverence God and make sure that he's actually, I mean, he's there, but make sure that you are there with him. And that is to be able to intercede. So spiritually, I'm getting there. I'm back there. I've had my days within these last few weeks lately, especially with dealing with, I don't celebrate the holidays, but this year I really am grateful for how things turned out. As far as the fact of the holidays here, you know what I mean? Because my family really came together this year, and it was so needed. Like without a question, everything just kind of fell together how it needed to, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for that. They don't You don't really ever understand how much you need your family and how important family is until you just have to learn how important your family is. And this season has been a lot of, I've seen so much forgiveness, I've seen so much memories, even with the fact that, like, right now, you know what I mean, I'm the auntie, and like I'm just simply hanging out with my nieces and my nephews, y'all. You know what I mean? I told them I'm gonna have to step away for a second so Nene can do her podcast, but that alone for me is a simple joy. To be able to know that they in here safe, you know what I mean? Just sit back and watch these young people is pretty funny. It's pretty funny, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's my way of being able to show my presence. You don't understand how important presence is when it comes to our youth and the ones that's coming behind us. You know what I mean? I want them to always be able to know that if you don't understand something, you have somebody here that could be able to assist. If I can assist and point you in the right direction, you know what I mean? We have to take more accountability on what is going on when it comes to the youth, especially if they're your people. Stop seeing your loved ones go astray. Stop watching them and be the vessel to, you know what I mean? Because honestly, I know that my nieces and nephews all look up to me and things like that. But this time spent where I've actually slowed down to really be able to sit down and see, or even just sit around and just be listening to their conversation. I'll be trying to act like I'm doing something else, but just seeing how they be talking amongst each other and stuff. I see how much of an impact that I always have been. And this is with them more into adulthood. Even my son being here, like I could tell and I could just see me in all of them. You know what I mean? And how impactful I am in their life. And that's a joy for me, because growing up, I didn't have aunts or uncles that really just took the time to be able to say to spend with me. You know what I mean? And that was why I said when I got older, you know, that when it comes to the fact of being a better aunt, being a better mother, being a better everything that I seen, you know what I mean, growing up. So for me to see the change and like, oh my God, the change, because these is not babies no more. They're not babies. Yeah, that type of shit. But anyway, I ain't even gonna. I could have went so deep with that, because it's so crazy how time flies, and we just have to make the most of it. Spend time with our loved ones. Oh goodness, I am really digging my nails I did today. Fire. I'm just looking in the camera. Anyhow, let's jump to emotionally. Emotionally is going to be very attached to where I am spiritually. Um, I have, I've been, I've been kind of getting on myself more on the emotional side because I had to tell myself, I've been telling myself for so long we don't conduct ourselves off our emotions. And I need to chill with that because we're human, right? And the only time that we technically say that and that understanding really could be at a clear stance is if you understand that that's only on a business term. You one person and your emotions and your feelings matter on a personal sense. You hear me? You got to understand when stuff is just personally. But most of the time, when it comes to the fact of emotions, it's not good to mix business and emotions. That's just never going to work. So that's the no go. But when it comes to being a person, it's okay. It's okay to embrace your emotional side. I just be having to work on it because I ain't really a person. You got to know me to know this. I'll let you cry for a little bit. But after a while, like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, I tell somebody quick, like, listen, we ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? But, sometimes you got to make time for it. So I'm learning to. I'm learning to. Anyway, intellectually, brain is on. Ooh, it's on a million. It's on the millions for real. And I can see it. I can feel it. I can smell it. I can taste it. And I'm on the way. And I'm on the way. I'm on the way to it. So I'm excited and ready for it. Yeah. So to fast forward it, we got something to live by, especially going into 2026, the calendar year. Um, Grace. I know I've used that before, but I cannot express so much of the importance of grace. Grace for yourself, grace for others, grace for situations, grace, grace for your kids, grace. Because you know what? When you give more grace, it's a lot more the the expectations are more bountiful. The expectations are more harvesting if you give grace. So something to live by is grace. Give people the opportunity, you know what I mean, to be themselves. Give them the opportunity to explain themselves. And even if you don't explain yourself or you don't get the understanding, the mutual grounds can be grace as well too. Just give grace. All right. What we got? What we got? Um, the principle of the week. The principle of the week for the last week of 2025 is going to be I can't say that. I can't say that. So I'm going to have to think of another one. The principle of the week is mind your own front yard. Mind your own business. That's not in the sense of you see something, help somebody type thing. That means, as far as the fact of stop talking down on people, stop allowing people to call you to talk down on people, because then it also makes you the guilty party. So the principle of the week is if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Just be quiet. Shh. Silence is a virtue. Okay, it's golden. Really. So that's our principle of the week. Okay, the word of the week is always going to be the confidence. I love confidence, to feel and show confidence and self assured, feeling sure of yourself and your abilities. Okay, that's what being confident is, because when you go in a confident way, it tends to balance out in a positive way. Okay, we want positivity. So since we want positivity, we understand that we got to be confident enough that we can get it. Okay, okay. That brings us to the next and the best part. We closing in, and that is on our affirmations, baby. Our affirmations is: I let go of negative self-talk. I embrace self-love. My body deserves good care and nourishment. I deserve happiness, success, and abundance in all areas of my life. I honor my emotions and give myself permission to feel and express them. I release judgment and criticism towards myself and others. I am creating a better future for myself by prioritizing my mental health. I trust in the process of healing and know it takes time and patience. My struggles allow me to develop greater empathy, compassion, and understanding for others. I am compatible. Pardon me. I am capable of transforming my negative thoughts into positive ones. Okay. The most important ways to affirm is to start off with self. And with starting off with self, we understand the importance of self love. When you ask about self love, there are some questions that you could ask to be able to get better in tune with yourself. Meaning, why love yourself? Why is it important to love yourself? You know what I mean? Answer these questions for yourself. Why is it important for me to love me? What do I love the most about me? You know, that's another good question to ask to be able to develop that self love. Some things like, what are some things if I could change that you would change about yourself? You know what I mean? That's the way to be able to keep it real with yourself. You know what I mean? What are some weaknesses of yours that you can do better at, that you want to do better at? You set those self goals, and these things all start in the mind. You know what I mean? The way that you think of yourself is how others are going to treat you. Okay. There's 7 different ways. There's more than 7 different ways, but the ones that I highlight, as far as the fact that for practicing self-love, these are usually the top ones to be able to really pull that out. And that is to prioritize your well-being and your mental health. Embrace self-compassion. Don't compare yourself to other people. Set boundaries. Forgive yourself. Surround yourself with supportive and loving people. Changing a negative mindset, okay? Because to have self-love, that means you're having the highest regard of your own well-being and happiness. And then you're not settling for less than you deserve. When you know what you deserve, people tend to treat you better. You know what I mean? Some peaceful affirmations that we could carry on to be able to remain peaceful in our walk is, my mind is at peace. I am peaceful, calm, and secure. I live a joyous and peaceful life. The past is out of my life and I have peace. Okay? Yeah. And most importantly, we want to live, laugh, love, learn, and we gonna level up after all that. You hear me? But yeah, those are affirmations. That's where we at. And this is where we get to our part where we are definitely going to conclude. And I want to say this. Thank you, Pillow Talk, for allowing me and my sisters and everyone that has visited this show an outlet to self growth. There's been a lot of growth behind this group. Through the 3 seasons, I've seen it. I've I've felt it. You know what I mean? In so many different ways. Whether it be the people that message me afterwards, that I speak and I minister and I encourage on the outskirts. Oh shoot, we busting guns today. Excited. Um, yeah, so with that being said, thank you again for allowing me to be able to come. And I look forward to continuing to bring knowledgeable, growing energy to everybody that I meet along these podcasts. And I know and feel and see how everything is about to get ready to go. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of Fatima. I'm excited for the future of the Aisha sisters and everybody that's attached to us. Everything that's attached to us. I'm looking forward to it. And with that being said, thank you for watching this week's episode of Pillow Talk with Fatima and Aisha sisters. Please tune in to our next season coming very soon. I am not going to drop the details, okay, just yet, because I want to be for certain when everything is going to run. But we have concluded our 3rd season. Okay. I hope you got something from our podcast. Please join our social networking platform, the Aisha Sisterhood, and Pillow Talk with Fatima's public group on Facebook. Okay? Through the beautiful, the good, the okay, the bad, the ugly, and the uglier, we live. Good night.